Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to start in a few seconds. Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ahmed Fathi. I'm the Aruba Country Sales Manager for Egypt. Thank you for joining our industrial facility webinar today. And I hope all of you are in a good health and safe, inshallah. Our agenda for today, in 5 minutes, I'm going to share with you our Aruba strategy and vision. Then my colleague Fahmi Sakal, the pre-sales consultant lead for MISA, in 45 minutes is going to share with us the Aruba portfolio update, some industrial use cases and references. We will have 10 minutes to answer your question, so please leave your question in a Q&A box, and we will have the pleasure to answer all your valuable questions. Gentlemen, Aruba, as a unified networking market leader, is very concerned with security, stability, and simplicity. We started our journey at 2002 by introducing the next generation Wi-Fi based on a centralized controller with a built-in firewall. And since that time, we maintained our position as the most secure and stable Wi-Fi in the market. From 2002 to 2010, the wireless use cases and application has been increased big time. And at that time, based on an open infrastructure fully integrated with the cyber security and network infrastructure, we introduced our ClearPass and Airwave as our mobility and guest access engine to enhance the user experience and provide the most secure infrastructure ready for IoT services and application. And accordingly, we kept our position in the market leadership till 2015. In 2015, the merge with HP extended our portfolio to cover the campus and the data center scope. We developed HP switches portfolio by releasing the next generation switches portfolio supporting the automation at the edge and the SDN at the data center. Finally, we built our intelligent edge to cloud networking solution using the artificial intelligence to automate the network. And now Aruba edge to service platform and as a service option take a cloud native approach to help our customer to meet their connectivity, security, and financial requirement across the campus, branch, data center, and remote sites, covering all the aspects of wired, wireless, and wide area network. This is generally the Aruba strategy and vision. In the coming slides, Fahmi will go deeply dive with our portfolio and we share with you more details about Aruba solutions. So, Fahmi, please go ahead. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Ahmed. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum, sabah al khair. Thank you for joining, everyone. My name is Fahmi Saqqal. I lead the system engineering team in the Middle East, Saudi, and South Africa. Today, we're talking about how do we enable productivity at the edge of manufacturing and the industrial verticals. So without further ado, I'll jump directly into the subject. And by talking about one of our customers that has been enabled by Aruba, we look at the edge as where all the data happens, and all the studies, especially now with the last or the current industrial revolution that we are in, it's highly reliant on data. Texmark is one of our customers that does chemical manufacturing. They deal with highly flammable chemicals, high heat process. They have 130 pumps وmiles of pipes. أنا حقلب شوي يعني I'll mix my presentation English و Arabic. So عندنا عدد هائل من المضخات وأميال من البايبات. So كميه الاوفر هيدز اللي بتدخل بالمينتنس تبعت البايبس والكيميكال بروسيس بتتخطى ال 35,000 ساعه بالسنه. يعني just think about عدد الناس اللي involved بالانسبكشنز بالووك ثروز على البايبات to maintain health and safety and regulatory requirements بشكل عام اللي قدرنا نوفرها من خلال تركيب الأروبا connectivity for wired, wireless, enabling sensors على البامبس, enabling data feedback على الأميال من البايبات، حتى وفرنا 35,000 ساعة من الانسبكشنز بالنسبة للموارد البشرية plus that translated into more than $1 million of savings. we're going proactive يعني مع Texmark هلا مش بس الانسبكشن والregulations compliance بس كمان عندهم سنسرز حتى تنبئهم to proactively troubleshoot، واذا في اي حالات خاصه بتعنى بالطوارئ بتعنى بالemergency cases بالmanufacturing process او بالhuman resources they have the data as fast as possible through this connectivity that we are enabling. So هذا example واحد من كيف we enable the edge for our customers خاصة بالmanufacturing industry. بس اللي وصلنا لهون لما مثل ما قلنا نحن اليوم برابع ثورة صناعية. الثورات الصناعية بلشت من منتصف القرن الثامن عشر مع أول شيء تعبيد الطرقات والمواصلات، اللي بعدين انتقلنا لثاني ثورة صناعية اللي كانت باستعمال استخدام الكهرباء والسلسلة للتجميع اللي زادت من إنتاجية المصانع بالمانيفاكتشرنج. الثورة الصناعية الثالثة أو الثيرد اندستريال ريفوليوشن كانت ابتدت بال 1960 وامتدت لآخر القرن العشرين مع السيمي كوندكتورز والإلكترونيكس اللي أدت للكمبيوتر والمين فريم والبيرسونال كمبيوتر واللي انتهت آخر شيء بالكونكتيفيتي على الإنترنت. الفورث اندستريال ريفوليوشن اللي نحن فيها it's powered by data اللي هي is what's called the new economy أو the new experience currency لكل الاندستريز مش بس المانيفاكتشرنج، لكل الاندستريز اللي نحن بنتعامل معهم اللي هن على الادج وهي محل ما الداتا بتطلع وبتحصل whether كانت المدارس، المستشفيات، الاوتيلات، المطارات، المكاتب والى اخره. So اليوم حنحكي عن شو متطلبات الثورة الصناعية الرابعة ونحن كيف how we are enabling هذه المتطلبات بالاندستري بالمانيفاكتشرنج using the data and increasing getting more out of the edge and data at the edge. So حنحكي على الترندز والchallenges، حنحكي على الأروبا Edge Services Platform أو الأروبا ESP architecture how it enables supporting the industry بالuse cases اللي حنشوفها من multiple special use cases and integrations with specific vendors. And of course, we'll end with what differentiates us as Aruba, and we'll field some questions. So اليوم إذا بنطلع على التكنولوجي، إذا بدنا نلحق التطور من أول ثورة صناعية للثورة الصناعية الرابعة اللي احنا فيها، هنطلع إنه اليوم الترندز بالتكنولوجي ار الاندستريال IIoT او كمان الاوتي او اوبريشنال تكنولوجي. في عندنا الارتفيشال انتليجنس it's driving a lot of requirements. Industrial robotics are also driving lots of requirements لانه في امكانيه زياده بالانتاجيه مع تحسين الكواليتي، بس بنفس الوقت بدنا كونكتيفيتي، بدنا داتا، وبدنا رياكشن سريع على الروبوتكس اللي صار البرفورمانس تبعها كثير عالي. عندنا بعد الاكس ار او اللي هي الاوجمانتد رياليتي والفيرتشوال رياليتي للمساعده عن بعد، للريموت سبورت، لزياده القدره الحرفيه بالمصنع او بالمكان المخصص اللي بنساعد فيها نحن التكنيشنز عبر تقنيه مثلا الهولو لينس او الاوجمانتد رياليتي من خلال الماسك او السبيسيفيك جلاسز، بلس اذر تكنولوجيز مثل 5G اللي هن emerging كمان to fuel the fourth industrial revolution. So these are the technologies والtrends. بس في عندنا challenges بالmanufacturing والindustrial spaces اليوم اللي نحن we want to manage the data. وفي دراسات بتقول انه معظم industries they don't use more than 1% of the data. So this is a big challenge. Today we want to make sure you get all the data. Data is maintained. يعني there's no corruption in the data and nothing is risked in the confidentiality of the data and the authorization for the data. So في حتة security والdata transfer اللي هي we need to rely on and solve this challenge. And the adoption of automation. How do we bring in those robotics? How do we bring in AI? How do we bring in augmented reality? So how flexible are we to bring this on? That takes us to the second point. So we need flexibility to maintain and support multiple use cases. كثير من الفلكسبيليتي كانت مطلوبه مؤخرا بالبانديميك وحتى هلا حاليا لتمكين اصحاب الصناعات والمصانع من يعني اذا مش الزياده المحافظه على القدره الانتاجيه تبعيتهم. سو الانفراستراكشر بدها تكون فلكسبل انف. طبعا السايبر سيكيورتي شيء اساسي لانه بزياده الديفايسز الاو تي الاي تي اي او تي الاتمته كلها مع الروبوتكس والاذر تكنولوجي، نحن وي نيد تو ميك شور انه كل هالاريا الزياده اللي بتعمل additional risk for attacks and cyber security risks we need to mitigate it and protect. We need to be agile to change our processes quickly, to change our model quickly, and that goes with along with digital transformation for many people. وكمان to maintain الابتايم. يعني maintaining الابتايم والbusiness continuity هو شيء اساسي للصناعه. So فينا نحن نصنف هدول التشالنجز بهالتن كاتيجوريز. الاركيتكتشر فلكسبيليتي للانفراستراكشر. سو هيدا من البرسبكتيف تبع الاي تي او التكنولوجي انفراستراكشر that should support architecture flexibility, onboarding innovations and integrating with more IoT use cases, more IoT vendors, sensors, productivity use cases, eliminating dependencies and silos between wireless, wired, security, automation, machine learning, troubleshooting. All of these should be brought in together into a single point of management and under a single pane of glass. Visibility plus protection, of course, this is very clear for cybersecurity, for eliminating risks, understanding what we have, and providing security for everything that we have and that everything is trying to connect. The manageability, how do we manage everything? Again, مش jumping from multiple platforms to manage every single solution, just managing everything from a single point of management. Maintaining the experience for the connected devices, connected users, وكمان the administration of the system itself. The automation, how do we add automation for the IT processes to support automating, freeing up resources and enhancing the productivity of IT and your employees. Managing the assets, especially in the cases of storage and logistics and moving valuable equipment and resources around in manufacturing. And of course نجي للبادجيتنج او الدولار ساين اللي هي من اهم النقاط اللي هي كيف فينا نأمن البروتكشن اون انفستمنت وكيف فينا نخفض ننزل التوتال كوست اوف اونرشيب تبع السيستم اللي بده يحل هذه المشاكل. So Aruba عندها الانسر to all of these challenges. احنا بنحكي على 3 layers of answers اللي هن connecting the devices regardless of the type, protecting the devices, and automating all of this environment. This is what we call Aruba ESP or the Edge Services Platform. هنرجع نلخص ال Edge Services Platform لنعطيكم التسميات المضبوطة تاعت ESP, but this is answering to the challenges of Industry 4.0 to connect, protect, and automate it. And we start بالunified infrastructure. وهون أول point اللي نحن بنقدم فيها من أروبا الواي فاي 6 certified AP, حيث إنه أروبا is the only vendor اللي عنده الفول واي فاي 6 certified portfolio indoor and outdoor. And of course we do the right sizing. It's not one size fits all. We check your requirement and we right size the design based on what is needed to provide connectivity. It doesn't end here. هلا نحن قلنا Wi-Fi 6 for indoor and outdoor, واللي هيدا بياخذنا على access points that are specifically lined up for the industrial and manufacturing spaces, مثل ruggedized temperature و temperature rated access points مثل AP 518 و 318. عندنا low cost low density outdoor access points مع integrated antennas directional و omnidirectional. It eliminates the need of so many moving parts, الانتنز, الكيبل connectors إلى آخره, وتخفض installation from 45 minutes to 1 hour per AP down to 10 to 15 minutes per AP. أكيد عندنا point to point use cases for ruggedized coverage for very high speed backup links over 400 meters. وعندنا high performance high density outdoor access points مع integrated antennas plus an option for external antennas. هون بتطلعوا بالديتيلز you will find use cases such as explosion proof access points على ال 575 على ال 565 على 375. So حتى بالchemical بالpetroleum processes باlindustrial locations we do offer access points اللي بيعطونا zone 2 explosion proof certification. If it gets even worse than this, يعني الحالة كتير صعبة to resist بالexplosion بالrust بالhumidity بالdust, all of this is supported by the AP. But if it gets too extreme, this is where we can supply external enclosures for protecting the APs and the equipment and the communication in the process لحد zone 1 explosion proofing للAP. عم نحكي هون عن enclosure اللي هو aluminum أو stainless steel provided by a few of our partners. So this is for wireless connectivity. Of course, we have wired connectivity to support wireless connectivity with the right PoE resources to support all other wired services. عم نحكي عن OT, IoT, and IT. Maintaining high uptime و network SLAs من خلال live updates. You don't have to schedule downtime for your aggregation layer anymore, for your core and data centers anymore. You just do the upgrade while everyone and every user is still connected. عندنا simplified toolset and reduced training to help you get on this system, because this is newly introduced. Aruba SCX was introduced بآخر 2019 and it's customized to be included in the unified infrastructure. And this is the beauty of unified infrastructure. Today نحن بنستخدم نفس البلاتفورم to manage switches, to manage the Wi-Fi, to manage the gateway, to manage the controller, both in the cloud and on-prem. So the management option, where it is the decision lies with you, but it all ends in one single point of management for all of these platforms. طبعا we need to extend beyond Wi-Fi, beyond wired. We look now at the AP not only as a Wi-Fi radio, but also as an IoT gateway. ليش؟ لأنه الأكسس بوينت اليوم فيها multiple radios، فيها Wi-Fi، فيها Bluetooth، فيها Zigbee، plus فيها USB interface to support every other IoT, especially IIoT, industrial IoT use case اللي it does not transmit على ال 802.15.4 على الزيجبي أو على البلوتوث 5 على 2.4 جيجا هرتز بلوتوث أو على الواي فاي. especially بالprotocols of IoT بالاندستريال عندنا 2.4 GHz protocols وعندنا 1 GHz protocols وعندنا sub gigahertz protocols extending to multiple families of protocols beyond Bluetooth and Zigbee اللي we enable من خلال ال USB interface. ال USB interface it plugs into the access point وال USB interface بيكون it's solving the problem of connecting all of the different use cases that devices with sensors that are connected in a factory or in an industrial setting. Why are we doing this? Because this goes back to budgeting. This goes back to doing more for less. This goes back to lowering the total cost of ownership. Today, instead of getting your smart sensors from ABB, from Schneider, from Enocean, from any vendor, we have hundreds of vendors that we support. They will have the sensors, they will have the gateways, and you will have the access points. بس اليوم using the access point as an IoT gateway, we eliminate الgateway اللي انتم محتاجينها لكل sensor او لكل IoT vendor. هيك بنكون نحن خفضنا total cost of ownership مش بس للاي تي سيستم، كمان للاي او تي سيستم اللي انتم عندكم اياه، باستخدام الاكسس بوينت تو ترانسبورت الترافيك اللي جاي من كل السنسورز، من البلوتوث، من الزيجبي، من الاذر اي او تي يوز كيسز to go over the AP directly. So this is the first use case of how we are doing more for less with using the AP as an IoT gateway. هلا it doesn't stop here. يعني نحن حكينا عن الوايرلس، عن الواي فاي، عن الوايرد، عن الاي او تي. we need to extend also to OT لانه this is يعني صراحه هذا ملعب الاوبريشنال تكنولوجي، لانه الاوبريشنال تكنولوجي لهم غير بروتوكولز، لهم غير ستاندردز، they support different operating conditions. وهون نحن بنطلع على how to connect OT devices من خلال ال OT networks and how to get it back to the IT. And that's the merge that we have now between IoT and OT and enabling, of course, IoT in the middle. Today, we are collaborating with Siemens to cover the operational technology portfolio. They take care of this and we take care of the rest. We get them back to the network, so we connect them back to our aggregation. We connect them back and we monitor them on the same platform that we use to monitor IT, and we secure what's on them, what's connected on them, with the same security that we secure on IT. So the portfolio is all merged into one big use case, which we call today the manufacturing and industrial setup, combining OT, IoT, and IT. So this is what takes us to security, now that we mentioned it. Security, of course, is first provided by visibility. If you don't know what you want to secure, you cannot secure what you have. So you need to understand what you have first. With all of those devices اللي جايين من ال OT, ال IoT, وال IoT, we need to know what's there, and we need to identify this by profiling, by visibility, understand that in an advanced manner. It's not just looking على الماك او يو بنقول this is an HP printer. لا، نحن we go deeper through machine learning, through AI, to learn the pattern and to check through DPI the packet that's going out from the printer. Is it going out to the print spool? Is it going out to the print server? الترافيك اللي جاي من الاي بي كاميرا هل هي بالفعل رايحه على الديستنيشن تاعت الدي في ار او تاعت الاتش تي بي اس بلاتفورم تبع الويب سيرفر للكاميرا؟ هل الترافيك هو ترافيك من كاميرا؟ لانه اليوم اذا حدا شكل لابتوب and he tried to spoof the IP, the MAC address with destination of communication of the camera, they cannot spoof the traffic pattern that's expected from the camera. And this is where we use machine learning to determine this traffic, the trend, and we use DPI to determine what it should be doing and what it should not be doing, and determining if it's really a camera or not, if it's really printer or not. And the same goes for all other IoT devices. Today, we have visibility. We provide this data for ClearPass to lock down the security and to close the loop for 360 security. Now, how do we lock down the security? First of all, we provide visibility for IT and IoT, and also extend this visibility to OT, the same way extending connectivity to OT. Today, essential services in OT, operational technology, regular ones in any building, like elevator systems, AC, HVAC, public administration systems, these are on OT. In the industrial space, more than that is on the OT. So we're talking about power plants, we're talking about substations, control plants, monitoring plants, all the systems that you have for your assembly, for the chain production, for the robotics are on OT. This is where our partnerships with Clarity, CyberX, Nozomi, and Ingigi will give us this visibility on what's on OT, so that we can, once we understand what's there, we can secure it. So بعد visibility, we have the security, and this is where we lock down everything with dynamic segmentation and a role-based access control, so that everything coming from the same port or from the same AP will connect with a different experience based on the role that's enforced by our policy enforcement point, which is ClearPass. Policy decision point, which is ClearPass, واللي بيبعت الديسيجن على البوليسي انفورسمنت بوينت اللي هو على البورت ليفل او على الاي بي ليفل لحتى يصير في segmentation حتى على نفس النتورك. يعني even with the same VLAN the traffic are segregated, is separated between different users and between different devices. This enables us today to ignore that we need to configure each and every port on the switch. Today we set up the switch in colorless port mode, where we secure the port. Anyone that plugs in who is not part of the company, who is not part of the devices, who is not allowed to connect, will not get anywhere. Nothing will happen for him. Whereas someone who crosses the policy requirements with specific rules will be able to connect on that port. You remove, you plug something else, this something else or this other device will connect with the new decision. So it could be a user, it could be a printer, it could be a physical security device, whatever it is. Based on the profiling, based on the policies that we build, they will gain access to the network with the restricted privileges that we build based on zero trust, based on how much context we have on each and every endpoint trying to connect to the wired or wireless network. We connected, we secured, now it's time to automate the infrastructure. And this is where we use data today to support the IT department. So many reports about how data and devices will be connected by 2020, 2022, and 2025. And this is where we want to challenge the old data model of going into CLI to configure, manually collecting data, verifying the data by the IT admin, comparing switch to switch throughout deployment of 100 switches, looking into unused configurations or data. This is where we're shifting to using data to automate the task, to resolve issues, to proactively alert you to issues that might be coming up, to suggest fixes and changes, to verify it using machine learning and AI, and to store big data into centralized data lakes and process it over there. An example is on Wi-Fi, where today we can have a problem on the 2.4 gigahertz radio. Customers or devices or users will start complaining, my RFID device is not connecting, my voice over IP handset is not working in the factory as I'm moving, it's giving me disconnections and so on. This is where today, traditionally, we needed 20 to 30 hours to decide where the problem is happening, why it is happening, collecting the data, collecting the logs, verifying the configuration, retesting it. Whereas this is replaced by AI today to detect the problem and then suggest the solution, where we accept the solution, we automatically change the network. So AI will take care of enhancing your connectivity for your devices that are able to connect to 5 gigahertz حتى يقدروا يعملوا roaming من 2.4 لل 5 وتنحل مشكلة الكونكتيفيتي على 2.4. It doesn't stop for configuration or hardening for the performance. It goes beyond that to help the IT admin. Remember, we talked about boosting experience not for the end device and the user, but also for the admin. وهون في عنا AI Assist, AI Insights, وال AI Search. Today, without even knowing the solution, getting the training, the IT admin can go onto the dashboard, can type in regular words هو حابب يعمل إيه، وبيطلع له results على السيرش كويري تبعيته. لما يكون في issue that's turning into a problem, the system automatically بيفتح ticket مع Aruba tag to resolve all of this onboarding time. You call your partner, you tell them they have a problem, they tell you open a ticket with tag, you call the tag, they tell you give us your name, give us your contract, then you send it to them, then they tell you send us the logs. All of this is prevented and already done by the system throughout AI Assist. So it doesn't end here. كمان the AI is coming from the end user side. It's not from the end IT admin. من the end user side عندنا sensors. نحن we deploy those sensors ب strategic locations بالenvironment تبعكم وبنطلع على الفيدباك من السنسورز على specific applications على الكونكتيفيتي للوايرد والوايرلس على البرفورمانس للابليكيشنز internal and external على السيرفرز file storage and any other service that's essential for maintaining the operations within the factory within the environment so that we know what's happening قبل ما يختبرها اليوزر قبل ما اليوزر يرفع السماعه ويقول هلو في مشكله على الوايرد هلو في مشكله على يوتيوب في مشكله على الباكينج اب للفايلات على الفايل ستورج تبعنا مثلا. All of this is determined beforehand so that you can identify the problem and solve it ahead of time. نجي ل connect, secure and automate. That's where we are translating today مع Aruba بال ESP Edge Services Platform Architecture, connectivity security وال AI Ops into this stack that you can see. عم نقدم الانفراستراكشر for wired, wireless, SD-WAN, SD branch وال IoT connectivity in general to support the connectivity layer على infrastructure, all under a single pane of glass management. Zero trust is defined by zero trust security defined by a software defined policy through the ClearPath policy manager or family of products to lock down visibility, to lock down security, to lock down proactive security and a change of behavior and preventing all of those risks. With AI, I'm not the capabilities to enhance automation, to enhance the productivity, and to support the business outcomes and services for onboarding systems, orchestrating multiple connected devices, given location context analytics, and enable the ease of management through multiple locations, either centralized, decentralized, distributed, in the cloud, on-prem, remote, or hybrid. And it's all wrapped with an as-a-service offering اللي نحن ممكن اليوم to support the consumption of our software as a service for your use case for Egypt, for example, for the subscriptions of the monitoring solution, the security solution, إلى آخره. نحكي شوي عن use cases that we support through the ESP platform. So هنحكي عن specialized Wi-Fi coverage. We know إنه it's a challenging environment بالmanufacturing and industrial environment. So نتخيل أول شيء ال IP والunified communication solutions اللي based مع on multiple partners. This is a subset. Vocera, Spectralink, Ascom is one subset of handsets that we see in our customers who have factories, who have warehouses, logistics locations, and they need the connectivity with roaming so that our APs give this connectivity, the coverage, the roaming, and maintaining the quality of service for unified communication. نحكي عن specialized coverage. So the coverage in industrial is done on a per use case and a per scenario basis. We don't give a one size fits all. We do our surveys, we check the restrictions, the requirements, the challenges from interference, from SNR, from mounting height, from environmental challenges and requirements, and we suggest the required AP, the required mounting, and the required design for this coverage. One example is mobilizing also for backup links, point-to-point links on a high-speed link, talking about 1 gigabit per second over 400 meters. And this is where we can mobilize for use cases where you don't have time to dig a trench ونحط cable, fiber أو Ethernet إذا في عندنا switching. So بنحط ال point-to-point links, the links that are deployable within minutes على ال 802.11 AD that are resistant to harsh conditions. أول شيء ال access points are ruggedized to operate in industrial environments, plus any other conditions such as blockages, such as change in the conditions that will affect this connectivity, has a fallback mechanism to 5 gigahertz to maintain this connectivity. عندنا special use cases such as covering shafts بالmining أو بالtransportation of goods in long shafts بالelevator أو بالcarts اللي نحن فينا نغطي الconnectivity for the users, for the devices inside the elevator or inside the cart itself through point-to-point connectivity also over our mesh design. we can do more for less. نرجع لل IoT as a gateway, the access point as an IoT gateway through the multiple technologies. So we'll highlight شوي multiple technologies والmultiple alliances والvendors. هنعطي examples. يعني انتم اليوم شايفين subset of the vendors اللي نحن نتعامل معهم. نحن today عندنا or by بشهر 5 أو 6 2021 حيكون عندنا تقريبا 850 plus integrations مع third party vendors اللي they provide IoT و sensor use cases و collaboration و integration to enable the following use cases. حكينا طبعا عن Siemens use case for enabling OT connectivity, but في other vendors like ASA Abloy, ABB, Enotion, Mobilaris, Patrocinium. I will skip the use case for ASA Abloy and guest management for now. I will go directly to ABB اللي نحن حنحكي عن predictive maintenance مع ال ABB sensors. Today ABB عندها sensors اللي بتركب على ال different devices و they measure different parameters مثل ال temperature مثل ال vibration level لأنه these are key to operate these devices. It connects over Bluetooth. Instead of putting the ABB gateways with Bluetooth infrastructure, today the AP coverage is even more than enough to replace this gateway coverage. And today with the AP, we connect these sensors back to the ABB platform and we communicate this data so that the access point can act as a gateway for the ABB cloud management. This is one case we enable this business outcome of connecting those sensors to the infrastructure back to the back end for managing those multiple sensors by ABB. Another use case is for plant monitoring with Enotion. Enotion is an alliance of vendors. Today, Enotion عندها more than 100 or 150 vendors in the list that connect back on a single device for Enotion. A single device اللي هو عبارة عن USB stick. A USB stick, it plugs in to the access point, which connects multiple sensors or devices that can do so many things in your environment. نحن عم ناخذ هون workflow environment أو environment للemployees اللي هن بيشتغلوا فيها بالفاكتوري وعندهم كمان مثلا let's say الحمامات وعندهم المغاسل وعندهم المكاتب أو الطاولات اللي هن عم يشتغلوا عليها وعندهم disinfection locations. So عندنا multiple sensors to look at the soap supply, toilet paper supply, presence detection على الطاولة, presence detection جوات الغرفة أو جوات الكيوبيكل, العداد تبع الأشخاص بالمنطقة المحددة لأنه ممكن يكون في restriction على عدد العمال لازم يكونوا موجودين بالمنطقة. feedback button إذا في حال في emergency لنروح نضغط على الزر الأحمر for example. disinfectant supply لأنه هلأ طبعا بالكورونا كلنا لازم نعقم إيدينا لازم نكون لابسين personal protection equipment الماسك و other safety equipment in the factory for example. So كل هدول sensors بالإضافة of course للسنسرز اللي هن environmental sensors اللي على humidity على cooling على light sensors على presence sensors, they connect back to the single dongle USB dongle اللي it connects plugs into the AP and we enable the communication between all of these sensors and their respective dashboards. Imagine having 2 or 3 vendors from these sensors. Let's say it's ABB, Schneider, and Siemens. Each of these different vendors, they will require 3 different gateways for connecting their devices. We're replacing the gateways, we're replacing the mounting of the gateways, we're replacing the power of the gateways, we're replacing the cabling of the gateways, and we already have the Aruba access point, both indoor or outdoor, supporting this connectivity for the gateway so that these sensors communicate back to their platform. In this process, in this way, we can leverage multiple partners, both hardware and software, to build the digital twin of our factory. نحن we enable الكاربون كوبي يعني نحن بنعمل نسخة افتراضية عن المعمل أو المصنع أو الوير هاوس تبعنا حتى نراقب كل البروسيسز اللي عم بتصير فيها from A to Z بهذا المصنع أو بهذا اللوكيشن ليكون عندنا كل الداتا اللي related للسكيورتي, related للسيفتي, related للبرودكتيفيتي, related للكواليتي كنترول, quality assurance, related للhuman resource management. It all comes in place now on a single screen with partners such as Space IQ and other partners so that you can maintain your costs. So نحن هون we're preventing losses, we're improving quality, we're improving productivity, and we're preventing losses مش بس بالquality assurance والquality control بس كمان بالsafety لأنه safety is the #1 requirement in every industrial manufacturing environment. One injury in a workplace بمصنع بورشة بwarehouse, it can lead to shutting down the operation at least for one day in that location until the يعني بيصير في تحقيق investigation ليش صار الحادث وكيف صار الحادث ومع مين صار الحادث وهاو do we prevent it. بنرجع بنعمل briefing لكل العمال how to prevent it later وبنخصص team ونتاكد انه عندهم training انه عندهم certification. All of these costs will be prevented. So this is how it will give benefit building the digital twin of your environment. So we go to other use cases that we touched upon كمان مع المينتنس والsafety monitoring. موبيلرز بيزودونا بسنسرز operating على البلوتوث to maintain safety وsecurity على بالdangerous areas للequipment للعمال, and كمان نفس الكيس we fully integrate with this as gateway. حتى الموبيلرز in their turn they integrate مع plant maintenance و they give full visibility على الsecurity والsafety analytics وinsights على اليوزرز والديفايسز. بلس من خلال الاي ار والفي ار تكنولوجي enable الكونكتيفيتي من خلال الاكسس بوينتس for the use cases of monitoring, remote assistance, and technology or technical support. So we're providing connectivity for the sensors. We're providing performance will high demand connectivity for these AR, VR applications that need quality of service, video streaming, and high throughput requirements. كمان عندنا other use cases related to emergency response مع Patrocinium, which is integrated in real time. We get a 4D visualization for the facility, so you can look at the building, a single floor, multiple floor buildings, through the devices and sensors that are connected back through our access points, and on an application layer that's given to your employees. ممكن هن يحددوا حالا انه نحن بخطر او نحن صرنا برا على نقطة التجمع we are safe. و you can monitor الworkers, البلو كولر, الامبلويز, كل الموظفين كيف عم يمشوا بالمبنى من طابق لطابق لحديت ما يطلعوا على نقطة التجمع على ال 4D model of the building. So all of this is built on hardware sensors connecting back to our access points as an IoT gateway. And other use cases such as people and technology that leverage the application layer to do multiple use cases. عم نحكي عن asset tracking, safety, optimization لل workflows, quality control, productivity, access security, plus indoor navigation. اللي هن بيعتمدوا على multiple devices, multiple hardware devices to enable you these use cases على application layer. حتى انتم اليوم today على الموبايل app على التليفون أو على الويب platform you can monitor all of these use cases in real time. Connectivity, of course, is going over Bluetooth, is going over Zigbee through the access point, and over Wi-Fi for connecting the applications and connecting the users and devices. Other vendors such as IP Magics, and this is something we have deployed with one of our customers here in the UAE, is human resource and social distancing management. We're talking هنا على application layer. الموظفين بيوصلوا على المعمل بدل ما يعملوا فينجر برنت, لانه اليوم الفينجر برنت مش مستحبه كرمال الكورونا, بدنا نعقم ايدينا نستعمل البصمه. اليوم انا بستعمل التليفون, بطلع الابلكيشن, بستعمل الكاميرا اللي على التليفون حتى اعمل فيشل ريكوجنيشن وسجل الاتندنس تبعي على كلوك ان والكلوك اوت. طب ما نحن اليوم انا فيني اسجل الاتندنس من غرفتي من بيتي. الفرق انه اليوم نحن وي تاي ان مع اللوكيشن كونتكست اللي جاي من اروبا over BLE to verify انه اليوزر موجود on site. هذا اول شيء. بلس في multi factor authentication to verify انه اليوزر او الامبلويي ما عطى الموبايل ديفايس تبعه لزميله او لحدا بيعرفه حتى ياخذ 2 mobile devices يعمل له check in. Plus we can add social distancing management with the recognition of wearing the personal protection equipment such as a face mask over here or over here. And this is all application based and connecting back to the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth in your infrastructure. It could be fixed as a screen. So if we don't want to rely on personal mobile phones. There could be a tablet that they woke up to. It's connected over Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. They log in and they log out as they go in and go out from their work. So لما نرجع نطلع على challenges, نحن عم نطلع على multiple things that we are trying to attack and to respond with ESP, Aruba Edge Services Platform, or ESP for short. نحكي عن unified infrastructure that takes care of the flexibility للarchitecture. اليوم نحن you can deploy 1 AP, 10 APs, 100,000, one switch, 10, 100,000, standalone, clustered, stacked, cloud managed, on-prem managed, non-managed, all in a single architecture that's flexible to change. Innovation or integration supporting so many vendors for increasing productivity, safety, and management and the quality. The manageability of the IT and the OT all under a single point. Eliminating dependency and silos between the multiple devices, multiple gateways, multiple connectivities. Enhancing the experience for connected devices and the user and the IT admin. Locking down asset management through asset management tracking, through different capabilities we're giving. Through AI Ops, enhancing the experience of the users and the admin. Automating the infrastructure. Zero trust security by providing full visibility, protection, and eliminating cybersecurity risks. And of course, providing everything as a service. So today we have the managed service capability. We have the software as a service capability. We have our partners, and we have Aruba services that you can opt in. So all of those are different flavors of support, of professional services, of post-sales support that you can manage your deploy and manage your network with, again, through asset management, through manageability, which leads into protecting your investment. Anytime you can change this model with a flexible architecture, and you lower your total cost of ownership, because today we are giving you the latest and greatest, and at the same time we're eliminating extra costs that with other vendors you need to add more licensing, you need to add extra boxes for integrations if you can do those integrations. So this is how we are solving these problems with Aruba ESP and its main pillars. And that leads me to the end, where today we want to offer this protection on investment for the infrastructure and for all the other components. Today, we want you to make use of the investment you already made in other vendors. So the ClearPass solution can sit on top of any other vendor. The access point can connect to any other switch. It doesn't stop here, because the access point can connect those IoT devices, the OT connectivity through the switches. It doesn't stop here as well, because with the protection on investment we're offering through the security integrations with ClearPass is out of the box and are at no extra charge. So anything that you have in your environment today, from IoT, from perimeter security, multi-factor authentication, SIM solutions, logging, endpoint security, unified threat management, behavioral analytics, OT visibility, is all merged out of the box with ClearPass. Global partnerships, as you have seen with our vendors, both for IT and IoT use cases. Return on investment, where you eliminate the need for additional overheads for the infrastructure and civil works every time you think of an extra use case that you need to support. And of course, the speed of mobilizing and changing a flexible architecture such as the ESP unified infrastructure. The technology roadmap, like I said, 850 or 860 vendors will be onboarded to support multiple industrial IoT and IoT general use cases by mid-2021, within 5 months. And of course, our training and enablement that is made easy by the AI presented in the platform and by our services, where today, with every engagement that we have with our customers, training and education services are part of the conversation to ease the onboarding process and to remove any headaches of worrying about being able to manage a new solution or a new development in the solution. And of course, needless to say, our market leadership for the past 15 years and running, since the creation of the wireless LAN Magic Quadrant by Gartner, and then merging it into unified wireless and wireless LAN access quadrants. Aruba and now HPE Aruba have always been in the lead across all the capabilities of what Gartner is looking for in high density environments and guest environments and wireless alone and wired alone and integrations and so on. And of course, this is all verifiable by our customer references. So we do have عندنا كثير references in the region. يعني of course عندنا references بإيجيبت. يعني I can ask يعني I can remember in Egypt في عندنا السويدي electric, العز ستيل, جوتن, ابن سينا pharma. So as you can see across multiple practices بالindustry. يعني petrochemical, chemical, pharmaceutical, manufacturing إلى آخره. عندنا بالregion many other references across different sectors of the industrial vertical, which is power plants مثل عمان cables, مثل دوفار power company. عندنا ال food and beverage production chain, because I know بإيجيبت ال food and beverage is one of the major manufacturing lines in the industries. So بالregion عندنا PepsiCo, it's one of the biggest references, and their biggest presence is in Saudi Arabia, one of the biggest factory assembly filling lines. مازون دايري بعمان. عندنا بالاويل اند جاز multiple of customers. ادنوك بالامارات, عمان ميثانول, اوربك بعمان, دبي بتروليوم, بابكو بالبحرين, كي ان بي سي بالكويت. عندنا تامر جروب بالكيميكال اند فارما. عندنا بالايربورت لوجيستكس, one of the biggest references that I remember seeing it on the Discovery Channel in one of the mega projects, which is the Dubai Airport CMT, Cargo Mega Terminal, which is full of robots and industrial equipment moving luggage and moving shipments around between long storage, cold storage, and regular shipping requirements with CMT. So all of these are just a sample of our customers across the region that verify or validate our capabilities in the industrial vertical. With this, I want to end. I've been talking for long now. I want to go to Manish to field any questions that we have from your side.
Well, thank you, Fahmi. It was a great presentation that summarizes all our solutions in the industrial and the manufacturing sector. The presentations will be shared with all the attendees after the call. But before we do that, let's take some questions. The presenters will be able to see the questions in the chat box. The first question is, how does automation capabilities work, like zero-touch device deployment and lifecycle management? Fahmi, would you like to take that?
Yeah, sure. So automation starts, it has many stages in the life cycle of the technology infrastructure. I will stop saying IT, OT, and IoT, because I will call it the technology infrastructure. It starts by day zero operations. Today, automation of onboarding the solution is there from day zero, where out of the box, the access points, the switches are connected and configured in a plug and play manner. So there's no need to go rigorously through the configuration تبع كل IP وكل location كل cluster. You just hand it over to technicians اللي هن بيقدروا يفتحوا equipment بالboxes. They connect it, they put the uplink, and it's good to go. It's on the central pane of glass, which is called central, by the way, so on-prem or in the cloud. وبتبدا الاوتوميشن بعد الداي زيرو اوبريشن من خلال المانجمنت اوف ذا انفراستراكشر. مثل ما شفنا انا اعطيت اكزامبل اللي هو اكزامبل بس واحد of a problem on the Wi-Fi radio. Automation capabilities, they extend to troubleshooting issues على الوايرد نتورك, على الوايرلس نتورك, benchmarking it to all the data that Aruba has from 60,000 locations and plus. So نحن automation, it can detect a specific environment as a warehouse, it can benchmark the performance of wired to wireless bill warehouse compared to all other known warehouses, and we try to improve the performance based on that. When we go to lifecycle management, of course, we do have from our management tool something called if the customers يعني إذا الكاستمر بيروحوا للمانج سيرفيسز عندنا الأروبا سيرفيس مانجر اللي بيضمن او بيعطي نوتيفيكيشن على اليوتيلايزيشن على الايكويبمنت، وين الايكويبمنت تستخدم وين مش عم تستخدم، it's underutilized, so that you realize انه we invested in this equipment here but it's not utilized, I can take it put it somewhere else. وبعدين نرجع بنروح على نطلع على اللايف سايكل واليوتيلايزيشن تاعت الايكويبمنت لنقول انه we need more AP coverage here, we need higher density here, or your inventory is nearing the end of its life, it's time for a refresh. And within specific or as a service models with Aruba, we are able to replace this for you so that we can give you the flexibility and the speed of mobilizing, decreasing the overheads, decreasing the wait times with delays, and as a end product overall, freeing up the resources تبعولكم. Yeah, Manish.
Great, thank you, Fahmi. The second question is, what is Aruba doing to integrate in the 5G space?
That's a very good question, because I'm sure the audience have seen the 5G logo on one of the slides. The answer is that today we are preparing for the 5G capability. We don't have it now in the region. It is coming soon. But just to give you an idea about 5G, if you're familiar with 5G, 5G is يعني مميزة عن ال 4G لأنه it can be deployed with multiple approaches in the architecture. It's split into 4 building blocks. وبالbuilding block تبع الراديو access network صار فينا نستخدم GSM antenna، أو صار فينا نستخدم الواي فاي as an extension to the GSM حتى الترافيك يكون جاي من النتورك من الوايرلس as the radio و terminating back على ال 5G core. هلا what Aruba is doing still now in North America and now coming to our region is we are coming up with enhancements for roaming from 3G, 4G and 5G to Wi-Fi and the other way around. And that's done through agreements مع ال 5G vendors. Plus, we are supporting private 5G deployments with our Wi-Fi infrastructure, Wi-Fi 6 and the coming Wi-Fi 6E and so on. So we realize 5G is one of the technologies that does not compete, actually that complements Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi 6 is used to complement 5G so that we can even decrease the cost of deploying 5G for our customers, whether it's public or private. So public, we're talking about telcos and ISPs, and that's where it's coming soon to the region, but stay posted. This is where we're going to be updating you as soon as we have the capability to do it in the region.
Okay, I think we can take one more question. The other question is, says, first of all, thank you for the great presentation. We need more technical details about the implementation and the configuration of Aruba Access Point as an IIoT gateway.
Sure. We have the guides. So we have them in multiple places, actually. One of our best locations is our community, our Airheads community. If you go onto community.arubanetworks.com, you will see multiple presentations and documents and guides that will reference how to configure this connectivity. And by the way, it's not you will not find an 80 or 100-page guide. It's a few pages, because these integrations that I just showed in my presentation is out of the box. You go onto the platform, provided that you are on the most recent version, let's say on Aruba OS 8.7, on-prem or in the cloud, where you can connect, you can configure the profiles that are the transport layer profiles. You select from a drop-down menu the vendor. So you say it is Inocean, or you say it is ABB, or you say it is a specific vendor. And then you connect, you put in the requirements for this vendor, the URL for its endpoint management, the security, for managing this communication, and so on to make it happen. So we do have the guides that are generic for how to do this in general on your platform, and we have the specific guides that are supported for each and every solution. The best place to find them is on our community websites, community.arubanetworks.com. But if you have any specific use case, please feel free to share with Islam, our local SE in Egypt, or Ahmad, or the whole team, or all of us, and we can support you with a specific use case.
Great. I know that we are on top of the hour, but Fahmi, if you can just answer the next question, probably in 30 seconds or so. Does Aruba access points support edge computing, data filtering, data mapping from factory floor to the cloud?
Not Aruba by itself. So Aruba supports the connectivity. We maintain that 100% of the data that's crossing our medium should go back to where it's destined. But to filter the data and map the data, we do have an extended portfolio from HPE and Aruba, where we utilize Aruba as the edge and the access layer. And then from HPE, we have an offering called the Edgeline server that takes care of aggregating the data from the edge, from the floor, from the factory floor, analyzing it, collecting it, and sending it northbound to the cloud as required. So this has to go through other platforms outside Aruba that Aruba integrates with, which is Edgeline and other capabilities that are offered by HPE. If you have any specific requirement, the same goes for the previous question. Please send us this requirement. We'll evaluate it with you. We'll check what are you trying to do, and we'll tell you what we can do by ourselves as Aruba standalone and what needs to be integrated with the rest of HPE's supplementary offering.
Great. Thank you, Fahmi. It's time to take feedback from our audience today. We'll have 2 questions that will pop up on the screen in a couple of seconds. It's important to get your feedback so that we can improve and customize the presentation and the content next time. So the first question is, please rate the session. We give you 10 seconds to select this answer, and then we go to the next one. Okay, great. Let's go to the next question. And the next question is, would you like to be contacted by Aruba after this session? Yes or no? Very straightforward. We can always touch base with you for your current requirements or upcoming requirements. So do give us your feedback. Okay, great. So with that, thank you to all the presenters. Thank you, Ahmed Fatih and the entire Aruba Egypt team for hosting this session. Thank you to our customers and partners for joining. We hope you found the content useful. As mentioned earlier, the PowerPoints will be shared with you after the call, and we will reach out to you as well for your requirements. With that, have a great day, and thank you once again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.